Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at firstupdatesnow.com/audible. Coming up on First Updates Now Recap, it's Premiere Night and time to party with 49 other FRC teams as we take a look at their robot reveal videos. But first we'll take a look at Stronghold and how it held up in Week 0.5 and what is to come in Week 1 and beyond. We got a long night ahead and we look forward to checking in with teams for their Premiere Night party. All this and more coming up on Recap. This is First Updates Now Recap, episode 1603, recorded on March 1st, 2016. Recap is brought to you by AnyMark. Tuesday means it's deal day. Go to anymark.com and click Tuesday Deals to pick up great products at amazing prices. And by Gamefly. Support fun and get a free 30-day trial and 1 month free of Hulu by going to firstupdatesnow.com/Gamefly.
And tying up two of the Blue Alliance robots is 1369. 120 gets flagged for having two boulders in its possession. Just under 45 seconds. Red starting to pull away. The War Wagon, one more time with the boulder, goes underneath the low bar. Over the ramparts, goes Swamp Thing, and it's motionless. Then it starts spinning. The Cleveland machine, 120, trying to get a shot off. There's a shot that goes high by 1369. And 15 seconds remaining in the match. With 13 seconds and 10, we're scaling it both ends of the field with 9 seconds and 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, baby. All 6 robots on the batters are hanging in the air, scaling from the tower.
Hashtag we want feeds better than 280p. Let's go, go, go! Good afternoon, everybody. It's time for Recap, where we're here to discuss the latest on what's going on in FIRST Robotics. I'm Tyler Olds.
I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Justin Montoys.
And we got a huge show tonight, including Premiere Night, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. But before we start, coordinator for FIRST and solution engineer for Haywire. And if you didn't know, she's the creator of the hashtag OMG Robotics slogan. So you are either the person everybody can thank or blame.
Sorry.
Welcome to the show, Jess.
Sorry.
I'm thrilled to be here. Thanks, guys.
Very happy to have you. And I got to ask Jess a couple of questions for you starting out. One, what is a solution engineer? And two, what happened? I mean, I thought you're one of the few of us, along with myself and Mike, who actually didn't go into an engineering or technology field.
Do you know that if you stay in FIRST long enough, somebody's just going to give you an engineer title? But no, a solution engineer is really about taking someone who's bought the Haywire product, which is texting with business, and creating and customizing it for their organization. So really cool stuff.
That's awesome. And congrats on the new job you have there as well.
Thanks.
Well, we got a lot to cover tonight, so let's not waste any time and jump right into our headlines. So Stronghold has begun. This past weekend, we saw the first event at the Palmetto Regional in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Let's give a quick breakdown of the event. 64 teams competed over 2 days of competition. We had FRC 179, Children of Swamp, taking the number 1 seed with an 8-0 record and a ranking score of 22, ended up partnering with FRC 4451 Robots Garage and fellow Florida team FRC 1369 Minotaur. After settling the current world record of 180 points, if you didn't see that video just a little bit ago, in the semis, the number 1 alliance ran into trouble, losing the first finals match against the number 6 alliance, captained by 4547 Westy Tech. The number 1 alliance took the second match, and despite 1369 Minotaur not moving in the third match, pulled away with a victory with a score of 135 to 117. Huge congratulations to 179, 4451, and 1369 on the first regional win victory of the year, and also 2614 Mars out of West Virginia for their Chairman's Award. So I'd like to get everybody's opinion on this and your input on where you stand right now on Stronghold. I mean, it's easy to make quick judgments, right, after only one event. But I think there's definitely some key takeaways that we have from Stronghold as well. So Justin, starting with you, what's going on through your mind right now in regards to Stronghold?
Well, I really was happy to see kind of a,
even though a .5 event maybe wasn't everybody's first choice, it was great to see everyone focus on maybe one event and just everyone kind of generating their thoughts about it. I'm glad Recycle Rush is over, because even though it was a .5 and people are still trying to figure out this game, I thought it was very exciting to watch. The biggest surprise I saw was the lack of scoring into the high goal. I definitely think that's going to change as the game progresses, especially at some different events. But I think even for kind of a rough event, it seems we're trying to figure this game out. It was still exciting to watch, and I can't wait to see how the game evolves from there.
So week one events are always kind of a little bit slow to get moving a little bit. People are still trying to figure out the games. They just came off build season. They don't have that, few weeks possibly to kind of get some things in their withholding allowance kind of stuff ready. So I think that was kind of expected. I'm excited to see where this game goes. I think a lot buildup was coming into this this event specifically, just because Stronghold, in my opinion, had a bunch of mixed feelings there at the beginning. So kind of to see it play out was pretty cool. I am excited to see more events in the future, and I have to agree with you. And a quick shout out to 4451 Robots Garage. They've been kind of fans of
long time friend of ours.
Yeah, so just quick shout out to them, and they're just becoming a great team down there in Florida, and it's great to see 179 do what they do best down there too. So, Jess, what did you notice about Palmetto?
So I was actually really impressed with what I saw week 0 versus what I saw week 0.5. I think that teams have already grown rapidly within that period of time, just by watching each other. I'm super excited as to how we're going to see this game played during championship, as I feel that this is going to be one of those real evolving games. I think there's a lot of great elements to it.
So somebody mentioned in the chat that as we move forward, auto is going to be really critical, and I really got to agree. And I do got to give kudos to 179. They had a really good starting auto for a week 1 at least, where they went over a defense shot, were able to come back over. And I think that's going to be a great prep for a lot of teams to get ready in autonomous that way. And I look forward to seeing how autonomous is going to evolve over time. I wonder, everybody talks about, we're going to see a 2-ball auto. There's a lot of risks to take there, because if you go over that line, you can get that foul against you. So it'll be interesting to see. But it's like any year, right? So it always starts out a little bit slower than we always want to. And by the time the end of it happens, maybe with the exception of a couple of years, we're all pretty excited. We're all pretty happy with what happened, and the gameplay evolves a ton over time. And, we got some great events coming up as well too. So we'll see what happens. I got to ask you guys, just maybe a couple of key takeaways as well too. Everybody's talking about the Cheval the Freeze, breaking after what, it was like 6 matches in, 3 of them broke or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I wonder, how FRC is going to address this moving forward. What's really going to get fixed with that? And Jess, not to ask you, because I know you're a volunteer coordinator, so I don't know if you have any NDA stuff or something like that, but can you give us the fill-in on what's going on with that?
I know that they're taking a real good look at it, especially as we start moving into week 1. The Cheval de Frise themselves are built extremely well. So I think it's a matter of keeping an eye on it for now. And then if we need to push out an update or push out, extra materials, FRC will do so as quick as possible. So I'm not really too worried about the Cheval de Frise.
So, because something that we kind of noticed, and we have it here as kind of notes, there was a lot of breaches that we saw, especially on Saturday. Not to switch gears on you, Jess, but I kind of worked out backwards for me. I thought we would see a lot more captures than maybe breaches, but it kind of worked out a little bit opposite like that. We saw a lot of breaches on Saturday, but not too many captures. I don't know if that's something that will affect. I'm sure that will change over time, and especially who's at the regional and stuff. But it was a little surprising for me.
Nobody was more surprised than me. I posted on Facebook like the second week of build season that I expected FRC to increase the tower strength going into the championship, because I thought so many teams were going to score and take down that tower so quick. I was like, 8, no problem. Just didn't happen. Yeah. So yeah,
it's hard because it's hard because we've only seen one event. It's not like you could cross compare it to other events this weekend. So I think that is definitely something to look out for coming up here in week 1.
Yeah.
So go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think what it comes down to is just the accuracy of shooting. Even the best teams from Palmetto last week were probably shooting around about 50% or so, and it took them a while to line up. So I think as time evolves, once again, teams will get that lineup much quicker than other ones. And breaching the defenses, you don't need a shooter for that. So I think what's been a little bit underestimated by at least the 3 of us is that there are actually a decent amount of teams that can actually clear the obstacles. At least in my opinion, I expected Tortugas like every single match, and there were some, and there was a triple Tortuga. So kudos whoever got the money on that, by the way, too. But I think I've been impressed by the teams that might typically in other years really not do anything are actually doing something this year, and that's cool. That's awesome to see finally.
Yep, and I think it's a great, just a great job by FRC and the game design committee finding a way for those teams that in some cases can only drive to still be really contributing members of the alliance, and I think that helps gameplay overall. And I think you saw that a lot just at Palmetto, and we're going to see it even more this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Any other quick thoughts before we move on to our second headline?
No, just a show note. As we move forward in future weeks, we'll be spending a bit more time on regionals, especially with so many more. We definitely want to get to that Premiere night, guys. So one more to go through, and we'll get right to that.
Cool. So week one brings much more attention, or much more action, with 16 events, including 4 regionals and 12 districts. We're going to hold off on previewing Israel until next week. Some of the top teams from last year's FRC Top 25 played their first event this week, including 33, 67, and 1023 at First and Michigan Waterford, and 548 at FIM Southfield, and 1983 at Auburn Mountain View in the Pacific Northwest. Many other great events, including regionals in San Diego, Duluth, GTR Central, and district events in New England, North Carolina, MAR, and CHS are all going on as well. Justin, I'll post the question to you first. What events are you most excited for, and what teams will you be watching this week?
Well, I think after the week 0.5 event, kind of the theme so far on our show has been kind of like how the game's going to evolve, how the game's going to evolve. And you alluded to it in the headline, but I think that watching the FIM Waterford event is going to be the best way to do that. You have 33 and 67, both, perennial powerhouses, throwing teams like 1023, 1718, 2137, and they're going to be and there's other teams as well. They're going to be our first kind of look or peek into maybe how this game's going to be played at the highest level. Jess, what do you think?
I'm really excited for the New England events. Obviously, I've got my New England swag hanging out right here with me tonight. But I really would love to see a return of the Bobcats into full strength, if you will. I want to see what 78 has done, because I have Airstrike, because I've not seen what they have done this year. There's a lot of really good teams both playing at Waterbury and up at UNH. I think that I was taking a look over at the list this year, and I can't find a bad New England event.
One of the things I would say for events I'm looking forward to, definitely Greater Toronto, GTR Central going on. Missing 2056 and 1114 because they're playing later on, but there's still some really good teams that are competing. And just looking at the Blue Alliance list up here, you got Blizzard, Warp 7, a bunch of different other teams that are competing in that I'm excited for. And I got to be excited for the Duluth events as well, too. Both myself and my team have attended there for several years. We're not going this year, but a couple of my team members are going. And one of the cool things I got to point out, too, is I know one of them has Thunder Down Under from Australia going, and the other one has 359 Hawaiian Kids going as well, too. I don't know what the heck they're doing up in Duluth in middle of March, but it should definitely make it a great event. You have your other perennials with Duluth East Daredevils. I think Talon Robotics might be up there. 93, bunch of other high-end teams that are there competing as well. But I mean, there's so many events this year. I mean, I look back 10 years and when there was 3-4 events per week. Now we have 16, and I think next week there's 22 or something like that. Yeah, so lots to keep track of, and it's going to be interesting to see how all that kind of shuffles around and who pops out of it later on.
I mean, obviously there's some of those powerhouses that like you alluded to, and then others like 254, et cetera, that aren't playing this week. So, but this still is a very, very solid week to kind of get a good gauge, I think, at where Stronghold is heading. So definitely keep your eye out on all the events that we talked about, as well as the other ones. And it's kind of going to be, it's always interesting and fun watching how the game evolves. So this is definitely a great week.
Was that our first solid?
I was wondering if you noticed. Some of these references are to the FRC Top 25 over
That's
years
okay.
past. So if you don't get it, then it's probably an inside joke.
Yeah, I've been watching
you
long
might be
enough.
able to dig it through the archives to find. So that being said, Tyler, do you want to talk about the very entertaining, as always, clip of the week?
Yeah, so every week during the competition season, and we previewed it a couple of times before, We'll continue to feature strategies conceived by our friend Ryan Ginn, who's of 2338 and also 1732, who just utilizes his brilliant ideas to determine what teams are going to wind up on Einstein. So let's take a look and see what Ryan has for us this week.
Now get ready for Ryan's awesome Einstein strategies of the week.
Teams trying to maximize the points now. Put a little icing on the cake. Blue Alliance trying to extend their lead. The Red Alliance trying to narrow the gap. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds, 1 second. That's it. This one is over.
So there you have it.
Awesome, love it.
For those of you listening, what just happened is we had a Red Alliance robot having some issues clearing the outer works and receiving a nice but somewhat unorthodox assist from their alliance partner, allowing them to scale the last second of the match. So Justin, why don't we start with you? Give me at least one team that you think could fulfill the role of either one of the robots here to get themselves on Einstein.
All right, so I'm going to go with a bit of a dark horse pick on this one. And it's, and it's because Paul Copioli, I love him to death, but he's just crazy enough to actually try something like that. So 3310 Blackhawk Robotics is my pick for the team that launches the Outerworks deprived robot onto the rung at the end of the match.
Dude, what a great pick. Because after being down there for, like after knowing Paul and meeting him, like that's exactly what would happen. Yeah. So I'm going to have to go with 4039 Makeshift Robotics. After, especially what they did last year. What was the, I can't remember.
Reggie Biv, the robot?
Oh, Reggie Biv, yeah. They just think a little bit outside the box as well, and I'm not sure which one they would be out of that situation, but one of them, 4039. Jess, what do you think?
I'm actually going to go again back to a time when this actually did happen. Back at River Rage in 2004, 190 and 237 were fighting against the bar, and 190 launched off of 237. By the way, I started on 237, so I still find this hilarious. Launched off 237, grabbed the bar, and Black Magic now, and put their feelers out and got control of the bar within 30 seconds of the match. So if there's anyone that can do it, it's 190. That's WPI Gompi in the hood.
No, that's a great pick, and I got to go for mine with the flying robot. I'm going to pick team number 900, the Zebracorns. And the reason for that is I think that team after last year is pretty much willing to have anything done to the robot in order to succeed. After the harpoons from last year, really sad we still couldn't see those. But yeah, I go with the Zebracorns. Like I said, after last year, by the way, Cheesecake is back in the form of blockers. We'll see what else comes out as well too.
Yeah.
All right, so before we get to premiere night, let's take a quick break to remind you that this episode of Recap is brought to you by AndyMark. And competition season is here. Have you checked to make sure that your batteries are ready for competition? Don't get stranded in the middle of the match. Check out the Battery Beak made by Cross the Roads Electronics. The battery load tester is compatible with FRC batteries and measures internal resistance, state of charge, and determines the overall health of the battery. The internal resistance measurement is useful in determining any of the bad cells are present. And when the battery beak is used to track batteries' internal resistance over time, it is possible to determine when to take your battery out of service before a failure occurs. We use the battery beak several times a year on our team, and make sure that you have only the best riders on our robot, and you definitely need to do that with competition season coming up here. Combined with AndyMark's 5-star service, you'll be glad that you picked up this great product. So head on over to andymark.com today to pick up the battery beak. So that's going to be it for Recap tonight. Thank you, AndyMark, for your sponsorship. And before we get the premiere night, Mike and Justin, we got to talk a little bit about what's moving forward with Recap and FRC Top 25 in the future.
So thanks, Tyler, for kind of that little introduction. So for those of you that don't know, Justin and I have been running a web show for the past 5 years. This is our 6th season. Can you believe that?
That's crazy.
And it's, wow. It's called the FRC Top 25. For the past 5 years, we've been going through competition season, and we have a vote every week based on who you as viewers feel are the top 25 robots. And we talk every week about it. And we just have a show, and it was a great it's great opportunity. We just been all, you know, everybody gets together on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, whenever it was throughout the years, and it's been great. And we've been friends because of that. We've gotten to know Tyler and Nick, and we were just kind of talking over the summer, and First Updates Now had kind of started up too, and we just said, you know what, we have similar goals and missions and ideas, and so we just kind of joined forces and became like the super web show, I guess. So moving forward this season, FRC Top 25 is going to be a part of Fun, as we call it, First Updates Now. Fun does shows. They have two different shows. I know it can get a little confusing. So First Updates Now is kind of at the top, and they have Recap and Spotlight. Those are their two shows. Through competition season, they will only be having recap shows. So we're going to be a part of the recap show. So not much will be changing about our setup, and we'll still have voting and everything every week. But the only thing that's kind of the big change is just that our show won't be an hour and a half long. It'll be about half hour or so within the recap show.
Yep. And, you know, like Mike had mentioned, the goal since the inception of our show has been about, excuse me, bringing exposure to FRC teams. And, you know, if you sit down, you could probably name 15, 20, 30 powerhouse teams off the bat. But every year we talk about it. There's always 5 or 10 teams that we end up talking about that without a show like ours, we would have never heard of. You know, they're really popular. They're a powerhouse in their area, but they're having trouble kind of gaining that, you know, first wide exposure that they're really deserving of.
Case in point, 4451.
Yeah, right.
Kind of
yeah.
people were voting for them. We saw them. They were on our show. They were featured, and just you kind of see now, and that's kind of somewhat become a household name. You know,
Absolutely.
So that's just an example there.
So a couple new things about voting. One thing that's remaining consistent, however, is that in order to be eligible for any given week, and we're going to post, make a post about this, in order to be eligible for any given week, your team has to have competed that week. That's a change from how we used to do FRC Top 25 in the beginning. So the Top 25, unless the team competes back-to-back, you'll get a brand new FRC Top 25 every week. And we're going to go a little bit different this year as well, having kind of an aggregate poll for that overall ranking, both based on a 50% community vote and a 50% weighted expert poll. And if there's a graphic that I think we're going to put up that you'll see every week during FRC Top 25, that's going to allow us to kind of show how the community voted, how the experts voted, and then the aggregate ranking.
So kind of throughout the past 5 years, we've had an expert poll on and off a little bit. So we're going ahead and doing it again this year. As Jess kind of alluded to, it will be weighted. So 50% community, 50% expert poll will make up their ranking for that week in the top 25. And as you said, through the voting that we changed last year, we love it that you only can vote for teams that competed that week, because in the 4 years prior, we had not done that. So that's just even as a bigger chance to get more teams exposed to the FRC community. So we love it.
I think we had like a 250% increase in the amount of teams we're able to cover to this new format, and we loved it. The community loved it. So it's something we're going to stick with.
Yeah, for sure. So that's kind of our little blurb about the FRC Top 25 and being a part of First Updates Now. We have one website. You can just go to firstupdatesnow.com. You can get to all the FRC Top 25 stuff on there. There's like some issues, like if you click on something, it does default to FRC Top 25. It's just because I haven't figured out how to merge the two or whatever.
It's the cheval de frise of our website. We're still working on it.
We're still working. So it is still one website. You actually, I think, technically can go to firstupdatesnow.com or FRC.
Yeah, you can do either one.
It's the same exact website. So
perfect.
Or you can connect to us personally at FRC Top 25 on Twitter, or you can connect to us at First Updates Now on Twitter as well. So that being said, Premiere Night. This is the 3rd year I think we've done it.
Yep.
We love it. We've just had awesome. Oh, we didn't dress up this year.
Oh yeah. We totally blew it.
We did. Usually we're in shirt and tie. I can't.
We usually do it super classy.
Or a hat.
Yeah, we blew it. So this year we had 49 accepted teams for Premiere Night. I say that because there was 6 teams who had already released their video publicly. So according to our criteria, they weren't eligible to be featured here in Premiere Night. And there was a couple other teams that there was just some other issues that they had to, like, I think, withdraw their video. So so we're just really excited to show you these 49 teams. And just a quick shout out to FRC Designs if you want to check out their Twitter and their website. They do post all the videos. They do have a playlist on YouTube, so check them out on YouTube as well. They have a playlist of all the reveal videos, so check them out. So flow of the night, I don't know if you want to talk about it a little bit, or we can talk together. We're going to do it a little different this year. Last year, the past 2 years, we just show one at a time, and we come back and talk about it this year. Since there's 4 of us total here hosting the show, we're going to do it in groups of 4. So we're going to have show 4 videos back to back. we'll all come in. Each of us are going to take one of those videos and kind of talk about it and what we like about their robot and their video and all that stuff. And then after that set of 4, we're going to have a featured video. So we're going to show these one at a time in between the groups of 4. And these teams were either on Einstein last year or just kind of best in show.
Can we take the second to encourage people to sign up to volunteer for championship?
Please do.
Yeah,
Jess.
please do.
Yeah.
Please.
You know that we've got, championships coming up. It's the largest champs that we have that we're going to be doing. And that usually takes about 1,400 volunteers. And we would love to have every single one of you. You're already coming to championships probably already. And there's a lot of jobs that you could do. So definitely pop into firstinspires.org/volunteers and sign up in VIMS. And we've got a whole bunch of volunteer coordinators who are ready and waiting to find you a spot. So there's still lots available.
Always use
Sweet. Yes, volunteer for champs, guys. It's
and it's fun.
Yeah, I've done it many years. Lots and lots of fun. So, and you get to go to all the cool behind the scenes stuff. My always dream as a kid was like, I get to walk through like the catacombs of an NFL stadium.
Yeah, that was,
which is, by the way, a little disappointing because it's not all the glam and red carpet everywhere, but definitely a cool experience.
It's concrete and white paint and cinder blocks.
Add the mods.
All right.
All right.
Swords have come out.
Hopefully there's enough where we're going to take a timeout chat room and we're going to do it again.
Yeah, do it.
We just strengthened our outer works.
Nice one.
Foul. All right, Nick, are you ready to go? All right, cool.
All right,
Go ahead,
so
guys.
sounds good. So we're gonna do these different groups, like I just to kind of get back on track. We'll have different groups going, groups of 4 with a featured team in between, and we're just gonna kind of go like that. So in Group A is gonna be 1806, 3255, 4499, and 4954.
Let's do it.
right. So that takes care of Group A. Nice way to start off those 4 teams right there.
Really solid teams.
Yeah.
There.
So just it's really cool. If you look back even 3 or 4 years, like what the effort and the videographer work and everything that goes into these reveal videos have just gotten so creative and cool. I know Jess posted something on Chief Delphi about all that, how to make a good reveal video. And I think teams are just getting it. You know, they're understanding what team or other teams want to see. So that being said, Jess, why don't you start us off? What'd you see out of 1806?
Yeah, so I thought this was a great video to start off with. From a reveal video perspective, you know, it's approachable, but it's still pretty fresh. I really appreciated the how smooth the arm is as a linear mechanism into an intake into a linear punch, and I would say pretty good mobility over defenses. You know, they're going to just get better as the season goes on.
Yeah, so the next team I had was 3255, the Super Nerds. They had a nice kind of little suspense build up into you just caught little glimpses of the robot, and then you kind of finally you saw the whole thing afterwards. Looks like they got a powerful shot. We always call it the fender shot. So if we say that throughout the show, that just means kind of a close up to the goal shot.
Batter shot.
Back from the batter shot.
Will never change.
No, it'll be fender shot forever. So it looks like they shoot pretty well and pretty close up. Didn't see too much of their intake. You kind of saw it there, but you didn't see them really intaking any of the boulders. So I said boulders, not balls there. So
it was pretty good.
I'm trying.
I won't do that
it looks
once.
like they're pretty durable. We're probably going to say that a lot as well, but it looks like they take those the low defenses, the trained ones or whatever, pretty good.
So the video from the Highlanders, $44.99. I love the red paint scheme. Red on robots seems to be kind of rare, so that immediately stuck out. Look very robust. I mean, the Dukes. If you can pull off the Dukes of Stronghold going over these defenses and survive on the other side,
I like that term.
Yeah. So some robots, and I'm sure you agree, they just have a look of robustness. Like you won't hesitate picking that robot because you know finals match 3, they'll still be there.
You can throw them off the tower.
Yeah, right. They definitely have that look. So I certainly wish them the best of luck next week at Arizona, and then later on this season, Colorado, where they're defending Chairman's Award winner, which is awesome from a relatively young team, $44.99. So great robot, and wish them the best of luck.
Yep.
Yeah, and I had 4954 Palindrome Robotics, 3rd-year team. Definitely, to me, I really thought when I watched these first 4 that 1806 just wowed me right away. But I really love 4954. The music they incorporated and just the overall flow and cadence of it, I thought was really cool. Their name, Dragon Guard, that's a pretty awesome name for this year's game. I'll go with that. And Go Team Talbot, right?
Yeah, right.
There's a few in there today, but they're definitely really cool. And this team, quarterfinalists on Noon Division last year, and only a 3rd-year team. So looking for more out of them in the Mar District.
Yeah. So our first featured robot of this first set will be 1902 Exploding Bacon. We kind of saw they released a picture of it. So
oink oink boom.
That's
oink,
it.
Oink boom.
I remember one of my first champs experience was hearing that in the stands. Oink oink boom. So they released a picture, kind of built some hype up. So we're gonna watch the video next.
No, I done wrong, left your heart torn. Is that what devils do? Took you so long, where only fools go. I shook the angel and young. Now I'm rising from the ground, rising up to you. Filled with all the strength I find, there's nothing I can't do.
Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit. Me get up. First shot, hip strut walking. A little bit of humble, a little bit of cautious. Somewhere between like Rocky and Cosby's for the game. Nope, nope, y'all can't copy yet. Bad moonwalking, and this here is our party. My posse's been on Broadway, and we did it all way. Chrome music. I shed my skin and put my bones into everything I record to it. And yeah, I'm on. Let that stage light go and shine on down. Got that Bob Barker suit game and Plinko in my style. Money, stay on my craft and stick around for those pounds. But I do that to pass the torch and put on for my town. Trust me, on my INDEPENDENT and hustling. Chasing dreams since I was 14 with the 4-track bustin'. Halfway across that city with the back crush. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people.
Sweet deal. So before we get into Group C, I just want to remind you, I know there's a lot of teams that are watching together, or you're in a group together. We've always said this the past 3 years. If you are together with a group, please take a picture and let us know about it. I'm going to put in the chat right there. It's at FRC Top 25 and at First Updates Now. Please take a picture and tweet at us. We love taking a look at it. We'll retweet you and stuff. It's just really cool to see what your teams are doing for Premiere Night and how you guys are getting together. So,
and I think we'll try to check in with a couple teams. I think.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know how many we'll be able to get to just because we don't want to run until midnight, but we'll definitely try to check in with a couple of you guys.
But at least, please send us a picture in the very least. So that being said, Group C, we're going to feature teams 5934, 4607, 4646, and 2283. Here we are.
I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Oh my baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. We'll be counting stars. I see this life like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line. In my face is flashing signs. Seek it out and we shall find the old. But I'm not that old, young, but I'm not that old. And I don't think the world is sold. I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I could not. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive.
Oh, that was awesome. Another great
Another great set.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been really thank all the teams, and we're going to get some more. But all the teams so far that have submitted these awesome videos. Obviously, we couldn't have a show like this without those submissions. So we thank you for that. And Jess, what did you see from your team?
Yeah, so 5934 Robotics. Raise your hand if you had no idea that that was a rookie team, because like, yeah, seriously, like that's a rookie. And for a rookie to be able to put out such a great all-around robot, but also, you know, put together a really good video as well, like very, very impressed with what they're doing already. They're very fast. Lots of logo maneuvering. I really think that they're going to be a great defensive robot that's going over the defenses and really making a lot of stuff happen. So great job, Robotics. Super impressed.
Awesome. So I had 4607 CIS. I liked their beginning to their video. That was very pretty creative. They're showing that they can go over the defenses quickly and very easily, so that's great. They do have like a lower profile robot, but then their shooter kind of comes up a little bit higher and sticks up higher, I guess, excuse me. So that's nice. So, I mean, you are seeing the cheesecake already, so just any little height advantage that you can get will definitely be beneficial. They're competing at Lake Superior and Great Lakes this year, so good luck to them and hope to see them in St. Louis.
So I had Team 4646, Team ASAP. I thought Sherman was a great name for a little robot that's just built like a tank.
Yeah.
It was another team showcasing some autonomous ability in the release video, which has been rare so far. Looked like also in the video they had some week 0 practice, and you know that's probably a local thing, practicing with some other teams, so that's great. You can catch Team ASAP and their awesome robot competing at Central Illinois and Iowa, where they look to build off of strong quarterfinal and semifinal runs last season. So best of luck to Team 4646.
Cool. And I had 2283 Panteras coming out of Mexico City in Mexico. So our first international team, I believe. And we got a couple of them in here today. Very slick robot. Video does a great job showing the features of the bot. I'm a big fan of the quick shots where it's just like quick shot with an actuation, grab the ball, and then transition to something else. And not all the time, you know, don't do it 1 second for every team in a video or something like that. But the robot itself, just the design of it looks really nice. It's very slick. The one thing I wonder about, just based on what they showed, was where they're going to be shooting from. Because if they are going to be a low bot with a low trajectory in the video, they didn't show them shooting from that far back. So I wonder if they're just planning on batter shots or not. But a couple of their shots were in the middle of the courtyard. And as we saw at Palmetto, there's definitely ways to block that, especially after Cheesecake and competitions as well.
Cool. So one thing that's been missing so far from a lot of these videos is lack of scaling. So we'll see if that's true. We'll see if that changes.
Have we seen one yet? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Cool. So our next featured team is going to be 4143 Mars Wars. We're going to check them out. We'll come talk about them in a second.
Tank swerve. Ooh, ooh.
Run away! Run away!
Search swerve a lot. Love it.
That's awesome.
So I'm gonna go past the obvious. I'm gonna let you guys handle the tank swerve. But
The what?
The what? And just talk about the shooter. I mean, it's obviously the focus of pit scouting and all these. This is going to be on tank swerve, but their shooter's decent. It's great. Like it's a quick intake to shooter ratio, I guess. It doesn't have to travel far. It's right there, and it looks like they can dump in the logo easy, and then they had a good high shot.
So as we were going through, previewing some of these videos, there's a few that really, and there's reason they're a feature team, right? There's a few videos that really stuck out. They're going to make Chief Delphi explode. This is one of them.
Absolutely.
That tank swerve is unbelievable.
Absolutely. I don't know who made the decision to do most of the shots without the bumpers, but that was probably the best decision that they could have made for the whole thing, because there's so much going on that the bumpers just would have obscured, So I thought that was a fantastic decision. Obviously, amazing robot. What more to say about that? I can't wait to see them.
And I'll bite the big one here, because I think a few weeks ago when we saw a preview video of 4143, we had some doubts about them doing that sort of concept with the swerve tank. And if any team's going to do it, they have tons of experience doing swerve drives, and kudos to them for building what looks like a very robust machine. And I'm confident that those drive modules will definitely hold together. So Mars Wars, hats off to you guys. Very cool looking robot. And like I said, the video just jumps out. I mean, the creativity that's in that, and then everything else they're able to show in that really makes it a good one as well. And I think they are competing this year at CIR, right? Central Illinois and Midwest, I believe. So
awesome.
Good luck to those guys.
Cool. I was telling Justin one last thing. I love how they go over the ramparts. It's kind of like a twist. Just get over it. Yeah, it's just like a pretty cool.
It's like it's what is it? Pirouette?
Pirouette.
Yeah, pirouette.
Exactly right.
So I don't know my ballet terms very well.
I'm not knowing it. You pulled that one right out.
You did. You did. All right, so that's it. We're gonna head into Group D. So we're gonna see. I'm pretty excited about this group. 2054, 68, 3928, and 2502.
So you're right about that, but also as a big fan of the World Cup, this group concept is really making me excited.
Really cool.
Like, all right, Group D
for sure.
Who's gonna win Group D?
All right, here's the tech bikes.
Oh crap, I'm recording.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your oil paints and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started.
I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice. There are no limits here. You start out by believing here. This is your world. You're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe that you can do it. Because you can do it. Give it a little touch. Give it a little push. Make love to the
Wow. Well, we'll start at the beginning. Just wow to start out with that. But Talon, great team that took Minnesota 10,000 Lakes by storm last year. Definitely expecting a lot of great things out of them this year as well. A little bit worried, as Jess mentioned before, with scissor lift, but it does seem quite functional in their robot. And I mean, they did show it working pretty well. So we'll see how well or how close they have to be for lineup, how much tolerance they have with that. But overall, great video, especially when it showcased the robot part of it. You got to love that. Not hating on Bob Ross or anything like that, but definitely want to see the robot going. And the only one advice I got to give for Talon, friends, don't let friends use portrait video, especially on release night.
Portrait video, that's true. But it's great that they could put something together too.
Absolutely.
Cool. So up next, our next featured team, our 20th team here in Premiere Night is going to be 2512, the Duluth East Daredevils. We're going to take a look at their video, and then hopefully we're going to get them on Skype after it's done. So here we are. Very cool. So thanks to the Duluth East Daredevils for sending that in. And again, this is, I think, one of those teams
couple years ago that we didn't know much about, but have worked up the ranks, and they've been really making, you know, every year that they've been competing, they've been on the top 25. So
another featured video.
That's it, another featured video. Look at them go. So great. So what did you guys see out of them?
I really loved that this is another team that brought in week 0 footage. Seeing a robot interact with 5 of the robots on the field, I think is so powerful. Like there's in a reveal video, there's when you're cutting between different shots and such, there's only so much that you can, you know, that you can leave up to the viewer to believe is actually happening. But when you're showing real life week 0 footage, we're like, okay, you know, this definitely seems a lot more credible. Scissor lift aside, you know, like, you know, like this is, I definitely see great things out of them. So good stuff.
Let me say something. We said great things about the video. I have great things to say about that team. They were part of our finalist alliance last year on Einstein, and what an amazing team to work with. They are more than friendly and accommodating, and we had a fantastic experience with them. If you have a chance to work with Duluth East, doing amazing things in the tournaments and getting that community up there in the northern half of Minnesota going. So kudos to Duluth East. I think let's see if we can check in with them and bring them on the show. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
I think they got a real party going on. Hopefully I don't hang up on everybody after I do that.
Apparently you did that last week.
Yeah, we can just one-shot them, Nick. We had a fantastic experience with them. If you have a chance. Hello, please turn down your volume. What's up, guys? Let's see if we get them up on here.
Do you have it up?
Nick, do we got them up here?
Yeah, true.
There we go.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up, Clara?
There we go.
You got it. Yes. What
Premiere
is
night.
happening?
Yeah, you guys having a good time at premiere night?
We're having a good time too. Thanks a lot for sending in that video. It was awesome.
Hold on. Who's the guy in the back? What shirt is he wearing?
That's it.
That's the right shirt right there. What's your favorite robot you saw so far other than your own?
Uh-oh, put him on the spot.
I will.
Besides your own.
Oh, you guys hear us or no?
You broke them.
Oh, I broke them. That's all right. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for joining in. Watch the rest of Premiere Night, and we'll be checking with a couple of our teams as well. Good luck to you guys at your regionals this year.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
How awesome was that?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah.
Back in my day, that stuff didn't happen. We didn't have reveal videos.
Internet.
It's AOL back then. Right?
Yeah, right. You have the door.
That's true.
That's it. Oh, that's great. So I know we got some pictures too. I just retweeted them from our FRC Top 25. So there's a lot of groups hanging out. So thanks to the Daredevils for tuning in with us and setting that up. So we're going to keep moving, and we're going to get into Group E. So we're going to see videos from teams 4536, 364, 1197, and 2052. Here we are.
looks like that concludes Group E. Jess, we're going to start with you with Team 4536.
Yeah, absolutely. The minute bots. I thought the music was really effective with the action, but what really stuck out was how they have that piece of fabric that holds the ball when it's being held in front of the robot. A lot of teams forget about those visual cues, and I'm not sure as to whether they're actually utilizing this as a visual cue, but when you're driving in front of a ball and you need to be able to make sure that you've captured it, having those visual cues are so super important. So I don't know if that was intentional, but I really think they did a great job with that. And obviously, like you put a Patriots logo in your video, and
All right,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna move on to teams.
and I'll forgive you for the scissor lift. How about that?
Watch, we're gonna come back here 6 weeks from now. It's back. Wow, scissor lifts were totally the way to go. We were saying.
No, I know, right? This was gonna happen. So I had 364 Team Fusion. So this is something unique. I don't think we have seen yet. They had like kind of, or at least in these sets of videos, is they like mix some of the robot sounds over like the music and stuff, so you can kind of hear what the robot is doing too, and that's great. I know for any of the NASCAR fans, I don't watch it a lot, but they do the crank it up or whatever, so you can just hear like the engine. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Moving on, he says.
Tyler's a big NASCAR fan, I could tell.
Yeah.
Huge. So they have intake on one side, they shoot off the other. Looks like they didn't show any other shots, but shooting in the high goal besides shooting right up from the fender, right on the batter. And that, which is great, because if they can get there through defense, if there's which there will be, get through there, then they have their shot, and you can't really get them away from that. So that's great. They did show a scaler there at the end, a climber. Looked pretty sturdy as they climbed. The robot didn't twist or bend or anything like that. Like some other teams are folding up on themselves or whatever. So that was great. They're going to be at Bayou and Rocket City, so we'll see them there.
Especially 118 with that really sketchy climber. They're kind of like sideways.
So sketchy.
What are they doing? Team Fusion, though, that did look solid. So I had 1197 Bantor, or Tor bots with the robot Bantor. Great looking robot, decided to forego the low bar, so they're, I guess, a tall bot, they've been called. And because of that, they really needed to find a way to breach those Category C defenses, and their mechanism to do that looked really, really solid and very confident. So they're going to compete 3 times this season, which is actually kind of a cool thing, because they compete this weekend, which is week 1, obviously, and then we'll get to see them all the way in Arizona West in week 6. So we'll really be able to watch them specifically to see kind of how a tall bot kind of plays through the evolution that Stronghold will kind of undoubtedly go through. So good luck to the Tor bots, 1197.
All right, I had 2052 Nightcrawler out of New Brighton, Minnesota. Apparently, I love the Minnesota teams, which I do. Nightcrawler, once again, if you read the cheat Delphi on who the top teams are, they're right up there, and they're always on the top for that, and they've definitely been improving every year. I have to admit, out of all the teams that I thought might actually have a Mechanum drive, I thought it was going to be them, but they salvaged themselves and did put Mechanum wheel still on their robot in their intake. Very robust robot. I love in the video when you have those front end shots that you kind of trail with the robot. Those are really cool because it really makes it look like the action is coming to you. Really interested on how they grip the ball or the boulder that they have, because it comes in and they have like this like impaling device that comes into it. So I'm going to trust they know what they're doing in regards to that and ball damage and all that sort of thing. But really look forward to seeing Nightcrawler competing in Lake Superior this weekend, and they'll be across from us in Minneapolis at the 10,000 Lakes Regional later on. So good luck to them.
There you are.
Very cool.
So our next featured video, our 25th robot of the night, will be 2481, the Robotiers.
right, so that was the Robotiers. Thanks for sending that in. Thoughts from the group?
The centering mechanism on their intake, however that works, I'd like to get in and see a little bit more, but it looked really impressive.
What was that, Justin? I could barely hear you there.
Oh,
That's why. The centering mechanism, I'm sorry. Mike and I like to have our own personal commentary.
That's why nobody could hear her the entire time.
Oh. But no, the centering
reset that
mechanism on their intake that brings the the ball, either it's like a little left or a little right to the middle where they need it. Look very cool.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to agree with that. I love that, the rollers that they had in that. And I got a little sneak preview of that a little bit earlier of what they were doing for that. And yeah, super cool bot, tall bot. So it'll be interesting to see one of the higher end teams, a top tier team who last year was the #1 seed in their division, won 2 regionals previously. The 2014 they were on Einstein. So it's interesting to see some of the top tier robots going tall bot as well too. So good luck to Robotiers.
Absolutely.
sure.
I love seeing the pitching machines, when they bring those out. I think it's so hard to be able to implement on a robot and do it really well, and it looks like they've got that one down. So super impressed.
Cool. So
So did we do a good job of introducing ourselves really at the beginning of the show? Does anybody
it's
know
kind
really
of
what-
late now, dude.
Didn't
We're
we
about
really
to
know?
go to Group F.
We're about to go to Group F. I don't think anybody really has a clue. People know my name. I
We
said
met
that once.
Jess, Yeah.
People
said
are
it
more
once.
interested in my cat at this point. Let's be fair.
I know, right? Stealing the show back there.
So okay, sure, go ahead. No, let's do it. It's true. It's a good time to take a little break.
Okay.
We have to get something in order for the next group anyway. So
So a little bit of
What,
my,
we're stalling?
What?
No.
What? No. All right.
Stalling?
What?
When?
When's he gonna put a name on it like that?
No. I call it like it is.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
go
just a
ahead,
field
Justin.
time
Tell
out.
the world who you are.
Well, not who I am. Who we all are.
Yeah.
Well, we met Jess.
Yeah, we know her background.
We kind of introduced ourselves, but that being so, we'll go. So take a little break. I guess my name is Mike Stark. I was first a team member on Team 340 in Rochester, New York. On 2005, I was a student for 3 years. I was on drive team for the last 2. Since then, I was mentoring 340 from 2008 to 2014, 15. This year, I kind of took a little break off. Just I graduated nursing school, and I'm a pediatric nurse at a children's hospital here in Rochester. So just because of that, my schedule, I just haven't been able to commit to robotics as much as I would like to, or in years past. And I did get married this past June as well. So all because of that, and then also living on the eastern part of our city, and the team was on the western side. I kind of took this year, almost 2 years off, but this year when I could be around, I was on Justin's team, and I'll let you, I guess, maybe tell your story a little bit.
So my name is Justin Montois. Mike and I do have a similar background, as we both started with Team 340 in 2005. I mentored Team 340 from 2006 to 2015. I was a drive coach for 5 years in there. Had some great opportunities with Team 340, some great people, had some really incredible robots. And then last year, 2015, I kind of split my time between Team 340 and the team I currently mentor, Team 3015 Ranger Robotics in Spencerport, New York, which is, we like to say, right down Union Street, so not too far away. But I teach there. I teach engineering and computer science at Spencerport High School, so that's kind of occupies all
That's
my
kind of our
they
background.
occupy all my time during build season for sure.
It is, yeah. So that's kind of our story and kind of what we did, and then we just kind of saw a need for like a web show about 5-6 years ago. I remember we were at a pizza place and we had taken like the kids like
Oh,
coloring,
every story starts.
and, yeah, and we had taken like their coloring page and just we were like kind of sketching our. It's somewhere like we should. Oh, really, probably fetch $1 from myself.
Yeah, there's a
but-
really funny picture on Chief Delphi of us. Remember at the ESPN zone at one point
Oh yeah,
where you and I were sitting there? We're like, wow,
that's kind of where it all started.
it's- yeah, maybe
so-
that planted the seed
Aw.
way back when.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
We've had a
so-
great time with the show and just all the people we've been able to meet through the show, and
Mhm.
it's been awesome.
Yeah. So that being said, how do you feel our third annual Premiere Night is going?
I think it's by far the best one yet.
Yes, and big credit to Tyler and Nick. They took the grunt work
Yep.
this year, and they were just making it happen. So a little shout out to them. They really kind of taken where we were at and have kind of brought us to the next level. So it's been a great working with them.
And now having Jess on the show and just having the dynamic, because and I'm sure some FRC veterans will attest to this. Years past on Premiere Night, it's always been like Mike and I have been struggling to kind of keep the videos going. We don't really get to watch them as much as we want, and we end up having to use kind of the same canned phrases over and over. And we had 75, 80 teams on past Premiere Night, so it got very, very repetitive. And this has just been the dynamic between all of us. I think it's been great so far. So thanks to all the teams that have submitted, and thanks to you guys, Tower, Nick, and Jess for kind of making this happen.
Nick is really making it happen behind the scenes. So
if you don't mind, I'll introduce myself and Nick as well too.
Tyler, you're here.
Yeah, who would have thought? No. So I'm Tyler Olds. I've been an FRC veteran since 2001, where I started out as a student on Team 93, the new Apple Corps out of Wisconsin. My background is much more on the marketing side of things, and organizational side of things. So I've been in MC since 2005 for FIRST. Right out of high school, I got into volunteering. I did championships through 2013, and I usually do about 2 to 3 MC events a year. I also do IRI as well too. Starting to scale back a little bit on the regionals. It's a lot of work to do that. I'm also one of the co-founders of team number 2826, Wave Robotics, out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And Nick is also a counterpart on that team as well too. He actually started out as a student and has been mentoring for a few years as well. So real quick background, essentially, we had some ideas to start a show that was going to be more of a news type show, and we reached out to Mike and Justin and thought we had some really good compatibility moving forward for a show. And this is the product you're getting right now, and we hope that you like it, and I hope you'll continue to watch week after week on Tuesdays.
Cool. Tyler, I actually remember you on New Apple Corps for whatever reason.
Yeah, I remember you back a long time ago. I don't remember where.
Running around like an idiot, like it's typically
is
how
that me or you? I'm sorry.
That would be me.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, me or you. That's funny.
All right, great.
All right,
Sounds
I think
good.
we're
So
good to
that's
go.
us. That was a nice break. Yeah, we're good to go here. So we're at 25 through about halfway. Stick with us. We know you guys are sticking through, so we're gonna keep going. In Group F, we have 948, 166, 50, 30, and 333. Here we go.
Getting live. Getting live.
get live.
They say we are what we are, but we don't have to be. I'm bad behavior, but I do it in the best way. I'll be the watcher of the eternal flame. I'll be the guard dog of all your fever dreams. I am the sand in the bottom half of the hourglass. I try to picture me without you, but I can't. 'Cause we could be immortals, immortals, just not for long, for long. With me forever now, pull the blackout curtains down, just not for long, for long. We could be immortals, back at it again with the white guns. Daniel. Back at it again with the white guns. 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 Daniel. Back at it again with the white guns. Back at it again with the white guns. Back at it again with the white guns. Damn, Daniel.
We're back.
Welcome.
They caught us.
Got a snapping.
But
Tyler,
I
I
just
gotta
gotta say,
say-
speaking about catching things, I've always had a huge fear as an MC that I'd leave my microphone on in the bathroom.
Oh
Just-
yeah, absolutely.
Seen it happen.
Yeah, one day.
Does it have the? Does that have that kind of range?
Yes, I think so. Well, that or you get a bunch of crackling in the stadium. So
Yeah, right.
A lot of mic pops.
All right, Jess, lead us off with NRG.
Yeah, so Energy Team 948. This robot really looks like an Attila. It's a big beefy machine, like we were talking about earlier. I did some pre-googling before this, and this song is most popularized by being like the theme song for a good like 12 news stations back in the 60s, which I thought was kind of hilarious. But I liked it. I thought it was good. What's interesting here, and I'm gonna throw it back even further, is a lot of teams are utilizing what I call an oscillation strategy, which was first popularized in 1995 back in Ramp and Roll when there was a giant, like touchdown end game, what have you, where teams would shoot the ball into it, which is how it was designed. But instead, teams figured out, oh, well, if I just sit underneath the goal with the ball and just oscillate back and forth 18 times, I'm just going to keep getting all the points. So I find it very interesting that the defenses this year are being handled almost very similarly in this. So that this oscillation strategy is coming up again 11 years later, or it's just insane. So good job.
Cool. All right, I got team 166 Chop Shop, who I believe, because I think I retweeted them, are watching as a group tonight. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and
Doesn't
sorry if we got
surprise
your
me.
state wrong, guys.
Yeah.
A lot of teams to do.
So it's cool. They were another team that showed their auto mode. So great to see that. They had one of those multi-directional intake.
That's so cool to watch that bowler just come in, from the side and then go right up the middle of the robot, as we had talked about earlier. They have a compact shooter that travels up and down. I'm going to go under the low bar, it does look like. It doesn't look like it can scale, but intermittent shots you could, on their defense manipulator, in some of the shots, but not all of them, you could kind of see that maybe they're was something, or I'm sorry, doesn't look like it can scale. On a side note, it looks like on some of their shots, and I'd have to watch it again to double check, but they had a defense manipulator that could maybe lift up the what am I looking for? The door, but it wasn't. I didn't see it at all. So I'm definitely gonna check back with them, and we'll see them at UNH and at Pine Tree.
Awesome. So I had 50-30, the second mouse, and the robot Boomer. The kind of through the back, out the front ball path, which I think really plays well for this game, especially after you shoot kind of. Obviously the balls will kind of be at the opposite side of your robot, so already having the intake on the back is really powerful robot strategy, I think. I had an opportunity to see this robot up close. They came up from Utica, where they're from, to do a little practice with teams 340 and 3015. It's got a very powerful shot across his defense as well. And they were tuning their high goal tracking code, so I expect a great season from 50-30, and you can cheer them on at the New York City Regional and the Finger Lakes Regional. So good luck to 50-30.
Yeah. The Megalodons, that's team number 333. They're out of Brooklyn, New York. Couple things about their robot. I love the coloring schemes. Anytime you can just get that nice pop out of a robot, that nice blue and orange that they have is definitely something that, when you're talking about positioning of your robot in other people's minds when they want to think about your robot, that makes it so much easier to be like, oh yeah, who is that team? Oh, they're that color. Yes, that makes sense. So that stuff is really important, guys. It really is when you talk about like even things like line selections, trying to remember which robot is what. The robot itself had really interesting intake with that. We saw a couple others, kind of that slider bar that pulled it back in. Notice the robot was a little bit tipsy, which could be with the Rhino track design for that as well. But overall, a lot of versatility with that robot, shooting high, shooting low, and being able to go over the defenses quite well with that tank tread design. So nicely done, the Megalodons, and you're going to see them at the New York City Regional and New York Tech Valley Regional.
It was definitely cool seeing their articulated intake come in, and that was pretty interesting. Next, our next featured team is going to be 2338 Garrett Ford. So we're going to get them playing. What was that there at the end?
Yeah.
It's tricky.
Nice. So they had a lot of cool things in this video. Yeah. I loved it. So first off, I think mechanically awesome. They had a lot of great mechanisms that we loved. Yep. They had the multi-directional intake. Loved how their shooter folds down into the robot and just comes out. That was really cool. What else was I going to say? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
So it's the little. Sometimes
I remember now.
Sometimes it's the little things, right? So almost that, I hate to use it, but kind of keeping up with the Joneses mentality, right? So teams are trying to outdo each other. One thing I'm starting to really notice in a lot of these release videos is how nice their practice fields are.
Yeah.
And they had a perfect hour.
Yeah.
They had it was all stone. It really looked awesome.
That's cool.
So
yeah. So the two things I saw, and I'm not going to try to steal things from Jess and Tyler, but
I love that they had a one camera view set up, and they showed the 6 different positions that they can shoot from at the base of the tower. Yeah, so it looks like they're a short shooter. And on a completely side note, relating to Palmetto, when we did see defense in the courtyard, but it's hard to keep track of 2 robots.
Yeah.
When there's both there. I remember watching 179 and 4451, and I don't know which team was playing defense, but you just can't stop both. By the time they got to one, the other one was in position and shooting, and then they would go over and try to. So I think they have a great robot. These ones that can shoot up close are really great. And then the other one is when they showed the overlay of them doing the 4 different defenses at once. So on a video standpoint, that's cool. You're really maximizing seconds in your video by showing a lot of defenses at once. That's great. I don't know if Jess or Tyler, you saw anything else. I know we kind of did a lot, but
yeah.
way to steal all my comments.
All the
No,
all the
being able to show the lift and shadow at the end, I thought was just, so intensely brilliant that I'm so impressed that somebody thought of that, because you're utilizing efficiency of your video. They're telling you where they're going to be, but also they're teasing you at the end too, so I like that.
And it could be they might still be working on it a little bit, showing you that they're getting there, but we didn't show anything except them just lifting up,
It could be somebody just lifting the robot up in the back.
Could
You
be.
never know.
Never know.
mean,
So 2338, good friends of the team, and of course Ryan with his awesome Einstein strategies is from that team as well too. Einstein last year for them as well, so congratulations to them. Overall, moving into this year, I have really big hopes for their team. You can definitely tell the quality of their robot, just the versatility that it brings. As mentioned before, just the different areas they're able to shoot from. Definitely one of the favorite teams, I think, going into Arkansas's Rock City Regional in week 2. So definitely keep an eye out for them, and also competing at the Midwest Regional later on in this month. We're in March, right? Yeah, later on this month.
Yep.
We're in March.
It is crazy.
All right.
Just a side note, the teams too, please make sure we tried calling a couple of you, so check your Skype to see if you've been added as a friend on there. And if you have, make sure you accept that so we can add you on the call so we can check out your premiere night parties.
Sweet deal. Group G is going to feature, this is also another good
Great
group.
group.
Yeah. Teams 639, 1676, 303, and 4635.
For decades, the Keepers of the Endless Number have built siege engines to test the mettle of their opponents. Their newest one shall be their greatest accomplishment. Stronger than the Land Shark, tougher than the Iron Horse, faster than the Reaper. This is Leonardo.
Are you ready?
Group G.
Great group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jess, lead us off at 639.
Yeah, I've played with Code Red Robotics a whole bunch. They used to come to New England events. They're a really strong machine. I think what really stuck out for me is that you can tell they've had a ton of drive time here. You know, like they've really practiced with this machine, which always bodes well for a robot. Also, another implied lift. I don't know if it's gonna beat out like busting out of the drawbridge as my new favorite like visual trope, but I really like the sneaky lift maneuver as well.
Implied lift.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Yeah, they're a team that we always play with. They're from near our area. They've always done a lot of tank drive or tank. So cool to see them use it, once again. So and we'll see them at Finger
They're the trendsetters now this year. Like, yeah, we've been doing tank drive for years.
Yeah, for sure. So I had 1676, the Pascack Pioneers. Really unique and creative video. Definitely played off the theme to Stronghold this year with the robot Leonardo. They have a multi-purpose defense manipulator. I love the drawbridge where they can cross it, and then they have a nice system to come down and keep it open, and they can cross right or go back the other way or go back the correct way. Excuse me. They have a low arc but high goal shooter, which is nice. Gets it right up there. Doesn't have much airtime. Always a pretty dominant force there in Mar. So good luck to them. And it was actually cool. I was at a Phyllis story in the year before. I was at a wedding across the street from their high school. I think during build season time, right before. So a couple of years ago. It's just kind of cool to see where they build. So.
And Mike, I just got to add, kudos to them for doing an animation off of that as well too. I mean, the countless hours I'm sure that took. To do something like that. I mean, I miss the days when animations were more prevalent. Yes, I know we sound all old, right? But
we do.
I mean, they still have the safety animation, and there is, I think, the Automation Direct is doing a award off to the side as well too. But yeah, I mean, it used to be cool to see teams come up, and it was some of it was cinematic, high quality stuff. And
oh yeah,
we had
kind of
a kid on our team, Mike Rashi, right?
Mike Rashi, yeah.
He created some really cool ones back 2005, 2006 era. That era was really well done. So yeah, I agree. I miss those days.
All right, so to go from Mike's Mar team to another great Mar team, the Test Team 303. We thought it was cool. The two pneumatic wheels on their 6-wheel drive kind of take that initial force of the impact. I'd be interested to know if that decision was made for reasons other than the pneumatic wheel shortage that very quickly occurred throughout first. So I thought that was pretty cool. But a nice simple intake that doubles as kind of a utility arm to break down the defenses. And with that linear punch into their wheeled shooter, it's very consistent as demonstrated in their video. So another great robot from 303, and they'll surely have a say with how the Mid-Atlantic District plays out. So good luck to 303 Test Team.
Yeah. And I had 4635. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right. Team Ugino, I'm hoping. It's a good shot, right? So out of Monterrey, Mexico. So apparently I get all the foreign teams, which is rad. Really cool robot with the huge wheels that they have. Maybe caution, guys, don't do that levitating, spinning trick on the field. But I mean, the robot itself, it definitely had some really cool features to it. And I mean, once again, when we talk about the positioning of a video, that's what stood out to me, right? So I remember that robot because like cool trick they did during the video, which was what makes good Premiere Night videos, is having that one thing that really stands out in your mind. But overall, good abilities for shooting in different areas, and then those big wheels should serve them well with traversing the defenses. So best of luck to them. They're going to be probably one of the few Mexico teams that's actually competing at multiple regionals. So they'll be at Mexico City week 2, and then at Hub City I believe that is week 5. So good luck to them.
Very cool. So up next, we have a team that's highly anticipated, a team that we've been friends with for good years now. 1986, Team Titanium is going to be up next. They're having an ice cream and PJ party, which we're pretty jealous of. So
What?
Yeah. Let's take a look at their video. All right then.
Team tape measure.
Yeah. I love, it's funny because they put the Stanley on the drawbridge as they were coming through as their sponsor.
Nice
now,
little,
now I kind of know why.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm ready to take measure. So yeah, they did tweet a picture at us. They're having some ice cream and they're all in their PJs, I guess. So that's great. So if you want to I think what turned the corner in my eyes, I think kind of what put it on the radar was back in 2013. Do you remember the reveal video from 2013? It was just incredible. And that year, they've been a good team for a long time, but that year I think is really
that was definitely a big turning year for them.
Yeah,
I think
so
I'm not sure if they were the number 1 seed or not, but they were part of the number 1 alliance. I think we're finalists in their division.
Yeah. So I mean, that reveal video, they were the multi-disc shooter. They would shoot the ones they had. They would go get more. Then they were also climbing for 30. And it was just an incredible machine. They have awesome students, awesome mentors. They know what they're doing. Their autonomous programming is incredible. As we saw, they have
25 autonomous modes.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's insane.
It's just like, are you
Do
trying
we
to
have
think?
one yet?
So it's just like they showed you just a glimpse of it. It's just, and I'm having trouble thinking of 25 different ones.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So you guys can chime in, but great job again by 1986.
Absolutely. This is another one that I really love, the efficiency of movement. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a point where they are doing a high shot while they're prepping, while you see the tape measures go up. So thinking about how to shave off those seconds there really add up in a match that you have only a limited amount of time to be able to hang it all. So really good, well thought out robot from them. Very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as Mike said, I mean, every single year in the last recent years, Titanium's been definitely up there within the top tier teams, and they always produce a very aesthetically pleasing robot every year with that nice green coloring that they have on their robot. And you can just tell when you see a robust robot like that, you know it's going to be able to tackle those obstacles really quick and get that shooter down right away too. So, and somebody mentioned, how do you fathom 25 autonomous modes? Now they didn't say they're all working right now. So it could be 25 planned autonomous modes.
True. It could just be spin in a circle. You never know.
It could be one.
Well, okay. So to be honest, though, a legit autonomous mode is to do nothing, right?
Yeah.
You want it. By the way, all teams, you should have an autonomous mode that says do nothing.
And that's no joke. Yeah. That's absolutely serious.
Now we get serious.
Now we get serious. So congrats, guys. Thanks for joining in. I'm trying to count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Probably 20 people just in this one picture that they tweeted at us. Just all sitting in a room watching Premiere night. So great job, guys. Again, we look forward to seeing you compete. Awesome job.
Coming out on the final stretch, guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
We are. We're getting there.
14 more, I think, something like that.
About that. 3 more groups.
Math.
Group H is going to consist of teams 379, 4976, 1540, and 3260.
Bet you're looking for something new. I feel the hate with you staring across the room. I dare you play your cards, boy, you bet I'm a trendsetter too. Fire when the strobe hits you.
That's it, Brian? Yes.
Bet you're looking for something new. Staring across the room. Bet I'm a trendsetter too. Bulletproof on another level ahead of the crew. Select never settles. It only gets better the more you see.
I'm the blue whale, I'm the blue whale, I'm the big, big, big blue whale. What kind of animal am I? I'm a mammal, I'm a mammal, I'm the largest mammal in the world. Where do I live? I live in the ocean, I live in the ocean, I live in the oceans of the world. How big am I? I'm very big, from is my heart. It is also very big. It is also very big. You can compare it to a small car. What do I eat? I love to eat the krill. I love to eat the krill. I eat tons of krill every day. How loud do I sing? I'm the loudest. I'm the loudest. I'm the loudest animal in the world. I'm the blue whale. I'm the blue whale. I'm big, 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 big.
All right.
Love it.
Well, Jess, lead us off for 379.
So it was not intentional for the cat to come back for the RoboCats.
Sure, it wasn't. They love the
There's-
cat, man.
there's
Here's another
Look
one.
at that.
who's been hanging out in my lap all night. But let's talk a lot about the RoboCats. I loved how straightforward the machine is, and how straightforward this video was. It was kind of like, bam, here we are, deal with it. Like, we're amazing. I really loved how they took time to show the forward and backward movements over the defenses. As we get back into that oscillating strategy, if you will, being able to go forwards and backwards over defenses is super important and something that teams should be practicing.
Very cool. So I had who did I have? There we are. 4976. GDHS Robotics. They have a very clean. We saw that laser cutter there in the beginning. Well machined, riveted robot. It looks really sturdy and great. It was cool. They did show some like prototype shots and stuff. So you kind of saw where they started and then where they got to by the end of their video. As we saw in a previous video, they also have like a pneumatic controlled shooter hood for their robots. So they can go underneath the bar really easy. So thanks for the video, guys, and good luck this season. So we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go to Tyler, then we're going to come back to Justin.
Yep. So I had Sharp 3260 out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Really great low bar robot with a really cool intake for it, able to traverse the defenses easily. I really like their manipulator for the sally port and drawbridge. I think that's going to be to me, and not discounting that they might not be able to be a top robot where they're shooting on the goals, but to me, teams that have that ability to open up the the drawbridge and the sally port can be fantastic late round picks around, because that's value right there, that you can just hold that open, let the other two robots go straight through. And sure, you could drive through backwards or go from the courtyard into the neutral zone, absolutely, but if you can do it right away, or even an autonomous or something like that, that's going to be a very, very valuable attribute. I really like the end of their video where they have the different almost stop cam, stop motion shots where it showed it shooting from the 3 different positions. That's a really cool thing they added in their video. I really like that a lot. They'll be competing at Greater Pittsburgh Regional Week 2 and then Queen City, I believe, Week 5. So good luck to Sharp.
All right.
Definitely. And I had 1540, the Flaming Chickens. I love their team name, by the way. Yes. One of the best robots I think we've seen tonight, and again, not just saying that, and largely because of something what Jess alluded to earlier, is a lot of their footage is coming from real life events, right? They're already proving on the field what many of us are hoping our robot will actually be able to do.
Yes.
And I think that just, as far as me and judging robots tonight, that really does go a long way. It's a very, very solid robot, and we actually have an opportunity to talk with a team member from 1540 right now, so we'll be able to kind of bring him on and have an opportunity to talk with him about their video and hopefully a little bit about their robot.
All right, let's get him on. Hopefully he answers, right?
Butterfly.
What the fly?
Sick butterfly.
What?
Oh, those I say those quick changes on trying to get everybody in the right video area. There we go. Mike's face is cut off, but that's okay. Hey guys.
Hey,
a
what's up, guys?
couple Flaming Chickens.
They come in pairs. So.
Yeah, right.
So hey, you guys want to say your names? Introduce yourselves.
I'm Ben. I am one of the fabrication managers on Team 1540.
And I'm Liam, and I do video for the team.
Cool. Well, hey man, you did this awesome video. Do you mind just talking a little bit about it? Like what made you choose certain shots, or what made you choose the overall direction of the video?
Well, we actually only had a few hours to film it, besides all of the competition footage. So honestly, we were just in our little practice arena, just playing around with some lighting that I brought, and just kind of using some dolly shots and just kind of making Zuko look like it really
Cool
should.
robot name, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I think you certainly met your goal. I think it's an awesome. I don't know, we're getting that feedback from them, but you met your goal. I think the robot does look really awesome. So can you talk a little bit if we switch to Ben? I think can you talk a little bit more maybe about the design process and some of the decisions you made regarding Zuko?
Well, this year we tried sort of a different sort of philosophy for our design process. We tried to really emphasize catting everything really carefully and sort of measure twice, cut once, whereas usually in past years we've done like measure half and cut 5 times.
Isn't that always the case?
And, I think that it's really paid off this year.
I agree. It's really a great robot, and you guys have been on the FRC Top 25 a couple times, so we're pretty familiar with the robots, and I think you guys definitely have a winner there.
Awesome. Cool, guys. Well, thanks for joining in with us tonight, and good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Just kind of before we go on to Group I, kind of what you said, like teams that have the opportunity to go to like a week 0 event, you get like that match experience. Even though those week 0 events, a lot of them are like kind of low key, easygoing. Like you get to be out there, you get to like show like. We all know, like reveal videos, you get the best shots. Your robot may have shot 5 times and made it once, but that's a shot you're going to take.
Yep.
So that's what's always the tough thing about reveal videos. You never know exactly what these teams are going to do until you get out there. But having that week 0 event footage really says something about it.
And that's also cool. I know I'm speaking to the choir here with this audience, but how cool is it? The opportunities that FRC provides students. Like he the one student was the fabrication manager. The other was just responsible for video.
Yeah.
And he gets to spend 6 weeks kind of really working on filming and video based around a robotics club, a robotics team. I just think that's, it's often overlooked, I think, when people hear robotics team. The web design, the videography, all that stuff is often missed. So I think it's really awesome.
I have a couple of new friends that are watching this for the first time, and they're like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe the video quality and how much thought. Like, first of all, like these robots are 6-7 weeks old. We all just got we forget that we all just got this game in January. And to be able to build a great video like that as well in like a couple hours, it's a week video footage, week 0 footage, like that it shows how impressive FRC kids really are. So great job all around.
Cool. Yep. All right, we're in it. We're near the end. 2 groups remaining. So in Group I, we're going to see teams 2607, 1156, 3966, and 4301.
Well, before we get there, we do have to preview our featured one that Nick previewed for us a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
1923 Midnight Inventors Einstein team out of New Jersey.
Yet another. What is that? 3 or 4 Einstein teams that are in here. This mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely.
And I specifically timed this one. This is a 23-second video, and my heart beats a little faster for those extra short robot reveal videos because it's meant to be just a nice little appetizer before the event.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job.
It was like the little things, like when their intake just slams down and their name is like right there. Like that's the kind of like cool things that teams are doing with like these reveal videos. Just thinking outside the box a little bit, using some video editing, making it happen. So I know Libby's doing great work on that team. She's really, I think, been able to, now being home from school and has a big girl job and everything, being able to really pour like her heart into that team these past couple of years, and they've been doing awesome.
I like how Libby said our radio broke the day we were filming, so it was intentional to be that long. Don't worry.
But Libby's been a long time supporter of our show, and and friend, right? And talking to her last season about kind of how much a trip to Einstein means a lot to a lot of teams, but I think it meant a little bit more for them. So I'm really interested to see or I was interested to see how going to Einstein was going to help, kind of push that team to the next level. And it looks like that it certainly, made a difference. The robot looks awesome this year, and I can't wait to see how far it goes.
How do you get back? Like just the drive, being there, being on that stage, and just probably I don't know what better word to use, but the addiction or the need to get back there. Like so that's awesome.
Absolutely.
So
Well,
good.
and sure, every team has that feeling, right, that they want to be on there.
Yeah.
But speaking as a fellow team who was on there for the first year, it's the adrenaline rush that you get from that, and the blur that literally you snap your fingers and it's all over. Really, really, really makes you want to get back on the big stage again.
It's insane.
Especially for this year, right? What happens
Yeah.
after this year?
Oh boy,
we won't go there. I'm sorry, Jess. Go ahead.
It was such a good show.
It's just so emotional, like Olivia and I joke about this all the time. Like for the past 5 years or so, we find each other like tearing up on Einstein every year. And whether it's because her team or something that happened and we're just so emotional, I definitely feel that coming through. So it always ends up like, why are we crying on Einstein again?
That's great. Oh God.
Oh boy. All right. So as I already said, and this next group up, we're gonna have 2607, 1156, 3966, and 4301.
Real.
As a child, you would wait and watch from far away, but you always knew that you'd be the one to work while they all play. In youth, you'd lay awake at night and scheme of all the things that you would change, but it was just a dream. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. Here we are, don't turn away now. We are the warriors that built this town. The time will come when you have to rise above the rest and prove yourself. Your spirit never dies. Farewell, I've gone to take my throne above, but don't weep for me, 'cause this will be the labor of my love.
What?
All right, so that was Group I. This is like a complete side note, but I like when teams like really feature their sponsors in their videos, because without them, obviously, they wouldn't be able to do it. So I think it's cool for them too, because they can also then give this video to their sponsors and say, hey, here's what we did for the last 6 weeks with your money.
Yeah, and I think the 90-second time constraint that we've outlined really does it's a watchable video for even busy business executives,
Sure.
they maybe aren't totally always aware of necessarily where the
Yeah.
money goes when it's spread out, but if it ends up in their mailbox, 90-second video showing the robot is a great way to.
So you throw it on kiosks, you throw it on TVs and lounges, stuff like that. So I think that's cool on a side note. So Jess, lead us off at 2607.
Absolutely. So 2607, the Fighting Robo Vikings. I love a team that is a little rhymey in their name, if you will. They're a MAR team. A lot of this actually really reminded me of back when I used to mentor on Team 40, which is Trinity Robotics, RIP, back in the day with in Manchester, New Hampshire. We used to utilize these big beefy arms, and their arm really reminded me a lot of the old 40 arms, and my hand getting caught as we tried to wire things in the middle. Another one that I really liked, the efficiency in the movement, pick up from the floor to the shot was really well done. Also, it looks like they're utilizing a lot of video stabilization devices, which I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can go on Instructables and make a video stabilizer for bar for $5 basically, with a weight and some tubing. So these are things that that are really accessible to teams, and I think that they did a lot of really good stuff in this video.
Very
Great
cool.
robot, great video.
And Jess, just to add on too, from a video production, the more you can do before post process, the better. Because if you're trying to do it in Premiere or After Effects, or even on the YouTube stabilization, if you can alleviate that stuff ahead of time while you're filming, it's so much easier and looks much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, good tidbit in there from both of you guys. So I had 1156 under control. You can mark them in a tally under the tall bot of Premiere Night. I think, and that being said, one of the biggest of the tall bots, but I like it. So I think this is kind of a side discussion as well, but I think a lot of people who decide to have a low robot to go under the bar, you're giving yourself a design constraint. But teams that say, you know what, we're not, we're not doing the low bar, and that being said, opens up more avenues for maybe other design things that you can do. I think that's great. And they didn't show every single defense. 1156 didn't. They can do. They did show the portcullis.
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 Yeah. I'm gonna rag on you all year for that.
5 meetings this year.
But so many people say portcullis. I don't know what it is about the.
It's like curry instead of curie.
Curry.
Curry.
They didn't show, like I said, they didn't show all of them. They did show that one and some others, but does look to be like a fender shooter. Does get up close. Uses that short shot with the tall shooter, high percentage shot as well. So great job, 1156. Good luck.
So I had 3966, the L&N STEM punks. So the robot Duca defenses will roll into the Smoky Mountains and Rocket City regionals. One of the few 4-wheel drive robots that we've seen, but if the reveal video is any indication, it doesn't seem to hurt them one bit. They're a really capable breach bot, and they'll be certainly a welcome addition to any alliance. It's also maybe noteworthy that it's the first time 3966 is going to attend 2 regionals, and coming from a team that was a 1 regional team for a long time, the ability or time kind of to apply everything you learn at that first event to a second event is just huge. So when they end up back at their home event, which is Smoky Mountains, after competing at Rocket City, they'll be looking to perhaps take home their first blue banner from their hometown event. So good luck to 3966.
I have 4301 New Tech Narcissist. Say that 4 times fast. Out of Odessa, Texas. You know what? There's some people I think kind of ragging on them a little bit in the chat, but I mean, overall, the robot is a very structurally sound, reliable robot. Go Team Woody, by the way. Gotta love some wood on your robot occasionally with that. But small, colorful, reliable, low shooter. You didn't really see them going over any defenses, so we'll see how that works out for them, especially with their wheels for it. But you know, with robots like that, it's a lot of it. What can they do reliably? What can they do over and over again to make sure that they're going to stand out as being a good pick for other alliances? So if you have a robot like that, you know, focus on what you can do best. Pick 1 or 2 things, do them really, really well, and stand out, differentiate yourself from the crew.
Very good, Tyler. Thanks. So up next, we have
we're missing a few big teams left, aren't we? We got 5.
I thought we got them all.
No, I think we're good.
Oh, geez.
Yes, that being said, the next team we're going to show is Team 16, the Bomb Squad. We're all so excited. I think all of us could go on probably for a long time just to attest to the amazing team that the Bomb Squad is, just because of the people. Just starting with John and Meredith Novak and what they pour into their team.
The whole family.
Yeah,
The
and their
whole
son
family.
JT, you know, and his siblings as well. Just what
Riley,
they do for
shout out
those
to
kids
Riley.
at Mountain Home.
Mountain Home.
Mountain Home.
Arkansas.
Mountain Home, because apparently we say it wrong.
Arkansas.
Arkansas. And to Brandon, their drive coach, what an amazing guy he is too. So they just have an awesome team, and I know they're all together tonight. They've been all together, I think, for the last 3 or for the 3 premiere nights. So, yeah, yes. Sorry, we're having a side.
They're always productive.
People in the chat love it.
All right, let's just show the video.
So
All
yes,
right,
that being
let's do
said,
it.
I'm sorry, I got distracted by our
Shiny.
conversation. So
I want to see that.
here we go. We're gonna show 16.
Oops, wrong one.
I can't believe that.
Unbelievable.
Right, that first shot
Wow.
of Swerve Drive, you're just like, they did it.
drop.
They did it again. You know, it's just
And they weren't the only, they weren't the only team to show off a swerve drive, but
No,
16
no.
does that so reliably. And can we make early predictions? That's an Einstein robot,
That's an
right?
Einstein
I mean,
robot, yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. I guess we'll see him there.
They have they have a 12-wheel drive robot. I want to point that right out. They have the
That's
4
right.
swerve modules, and they have a small 8-wheel drive under their drivetrain.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it in the video too much, but hopefully they post some pictures of their underbelly because it's
right,
really
I'll get
cool.
over
They
it.
have a little mini 8-wheel.
That's true. I forgot about that part. So that, and then the one shot they had him like swerve up to the side of the boulder, and then I don't know, how they just pick him up,
So a couple things I'll point out and comment about the robot in general. One, once again, that golden thing, in my opinion, of being a low bar robot, but being able to shoot from a higher trajectory. That utility arm that they have is just absolutely phenomenal and absolutely beautiful. And we got to talk about their climber a bit too. Some people might look at it and be like, oh, they might go outside their frame perimeter, but it's fine. It's a great one that they have, and they do it so well. You all right there?
That was the best voice ever.
My angry ranter chat rumor person.
I love it. Oh, I love it.
But what a gorgeous robot, right? I mean,
Oh my gosh.
everything, the aesthetics of it, the functionality of it. Wow, that's all.
Can we just say that, when you start your video with, these images aren't sped up, you're just, throwing the gauntlet down right there, like they know that they've got it going on, and they're just going to put it right out there. And I love that about them, like this is an amazing robot, and I'm really thrilled that they chose to show this tonight because it's super exciting to see them.
Yeah, and you're gonna be okay. They were really like one of the first. They were really one of the first powerhouse teams to really kind of sign on to their first Premiere night, and they've been with us ever since. We certainly appreciate that.
Great.
Another awesome robot.
So we still got 4 teams left, though, guys, and some great ones coming up here. And before we bring the 4 on, we'd like to bring up one of those teams that are going to be on the Premiere for that. So let's go ahead and we can get FRC 4513 on. So we have our last 4 are going to be 5829, 4513, 2471, and 1675. Let's bring on 4513 to say a little bit about their video and check in with them.
Let's do it. Pinu, pinu.
Hello, hello.
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 There we go. Get some video going on there.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
What's up? So you guys are 4513, the circuit breakers right out of Washington?
Yep.
Very cool. What can you tell us about your robot and your reveal video coming up?
It's like a short low bar shooter.
Yeah, we have a short robot for under the low bar, then it shoots high goal and low goal. Then we have tank treads to go over most of the obstacles. We can't really do the ones where you have to open them up though.
So like the drawbridge and the sally port?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think a lot of teams will be able to, you'll come from the courtyard through, right? That's kind of the strategy you'll be implementing.
Yeah, it's the quickest just to go from the secret passage through the low bar to the goal.
Yep.
What can you tell us about your video coming up?
Video? It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. A very fine opinion, sir.
This is our video. What are you talking about?
Right.
This is the best video. No, I'm kidding. 16 has the best.
Yeah.
Which one was 16 your favorite so far?
Actually, who was it? 4681?
I think so. I think
I
it was
think it's
like
what it was.
Flaming Chickens was pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a great video.
Yeah.
Well, with Flaming Chickens, I think is 1540.
1540.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Numbers.
Close enough. Times it by
Numbers.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll be showing your video a little bit as well. Definitely be tuning in and checking out their robots, and good luck to you guys this season.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck, guys. Thanks.
See you guys.
All right, cool. So we're gonna start our last and final group, Group J, with 5829.
Turn your magic on. With me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. We are legends every day. That's what she told me. Turn your magic on. To me, she'd say everything you want to dream away. Under this pressure, under this weight, we are diamonds. And I feel my heart beating. I feel my heart underneath my skin. I feel my heart beating. You make me feel like I'm alive again.
right. So that's
Yeah,
it.
49
Last
videos,
group.
baby.
That's it. So Jess, lead us off. 58-29.
Wow. Okay. So one more time, this is another amazing rookie, and I hate to say, like they obviously have like really great experience and this is their first FRC season. You can see the Vex like stuff in the back and everything. And honestly, like when I was watching this video, all the related videos are like, look at this amazing Vex video that they did. So like they're obviously coming in really experienced, but that first year of FRC is still really hard, taking on a completely different platform and being able to build two. I mean, like that's totally unreal. Like super impressed with them. I really like the surgical tubing to center the boulder. Probably why it's named Crosshairs, but I think it's a very smart layout, if you will. And I think they're going to make a really great impression at Bayou and Lone Star.
Cool. All right. So the circuit breakers who we just talked to, 4513. I think the robot's name is Short Circuit. It's kind of pretty cool. So they have a really nice intake, which doubles as their shooter as well. I think they can rest in peace a couple of those boulders. Looks like they get a pretty good grip on them. So they do that. They do have some unique aspects to the robot. They do have a lead screw for their shooter and in their aiming. And also they showed the picture of their worm gearbox as well. So that was kind of cool to see and really unique. We hadn't really seen that in any other video so far. So good luck to them in the Pacific Northwest district events that they'll be at.
So we go from 4513 to another great Pacific Northwest team, Team 2471, Team Mean Machine. And they really are one of the best teams in the Pacific Northwest region, coming off a strong season last year where they were district championship finalist, a world subdivision quarterfinalist. A great robot again in Carbon Knight. They're always good looking in the red and black paint scheme. It's a tall bot, but man, even, I always thought that tall bots really have a center of gravity issue, not this robot. I mean, they just they flew right over the defenses, no problem. And again, when you're a tall bot, you need to have that category C ability, and they really do make it look easy. The shot trajectory looks unblockable. Looks like they shoot from the safe zone as well. So expect another great season, and good luck to Team 2471, Team Mean Machine.
So I'm going to take 1675 UPS Ultimate Protection Squad. Good buddies of mine out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Kevin Koloje, great friend of mine. Used to be the operator on the 71 robot back when many of us were in high school. Oh, wow. That 2002 robot. Real quick story about that. Really funny, that story that I'll tell. When I was on 93, we competed with them at regionals, and we always thought that Kevin was older than what he was, and we tried to get him carded all the time because 71 was so good. We're like, oh, get that operator out of there. And so they don't do as well. And it's funny just to reconnect with somebody years later. And now, we're all running first teams and all that feel good stuff, right? But I got to give props to 1675. The song that they played was actually recorded a couple of years ago by Kevin, who was part of Dean Simmons and the Caymans, by the way, if you didn't know. So he recorded that a couple of years ago for UPS's 10th year anniversary, which is why we let them go a little bit longer. And just their video itself, the two awesome looking robots. I love the name Predator and Frank Castle for the backup robot or the practice robot. Really cool. Definitely going to be doing big things this year. Had some great practice at Sussex for that week 0 event. If you didn't, they weren't the robot that broke through the field though, if you did see that. But the team itself has been extremely reliable over the years. And I know that Kevin and the rest of his crew are really working hard to take them up to the next tier and the next notch. So I really wish them best of luck. 1675 competing at the Wisconsin Regional. And I believe they're at Midwest this year. No, they're at St. Louis this year, actually, coming up week 2. I didn't know that. But yeah, good luck to those guys.
Cool. Guys, we did it.
Wow.
49
Yeah.
teams.
Woo!
That was awesome.
And
That
we're
was a
somewhat
lot of
on
fun.
time. Who would have thought?
Somewhat on time.
Somewhat on
fluid.
It's another FRC Top 25 first.
Yeah. So, guys, any closing thoughts kind of on the night? I mean, anything specifically stick out or anything you're excited for? I don't know if anybody has any things they'd like to kind of close the night with.
For me, I just, after seeing, kind of 49 great teams back to back and just the incredible robots that these teams created, I just can't thank enough the teams that decided to participate in Premiere Night and spend time on these videos. And I'm really, these would be teams that specifically you're going to have a little extra support for during the season.
Sure.
And hope, hope for the best for them.
I gotta say, just seeing all the videos out there, we really appreciate every team that submitted and put faith in us of doing good on their behalf. Running a new format for the show is always a risk that everybody has to take, and having Palmetto Week 5 definitely throws a wrench into a few things as well. But thank you to every team for submitting. Hopefully you get some great publicity out of this. That's the whole goal, is we want to be able to provide an experience for teams to get together and show off their amazing creations. And also thank you to First as well too for helping promote the hashtag robot reveal event as well too. So thank you, First.
Sounds good. Jess, do you have any closing thoughts? And then please fill us in and tell us how we can get more involved with volunteering in First, and anything else you'd like to add.
Absolutely. First of all, this was a total blast. Like as I said, I just started a new job and my sleep schedule was all crazy, but being able to watch all these videos and prep for this, and then being able to see everyone talk about it, this is why I love the First Community so much. Yeah. And if you love the First Community, you should totally sign up in VIMS. If you're a team member who has never thought about volunteering before, there's jobs for you all over the place, whether it's technical or not so technical. It's really simple to sign up. You need to be 13 years old to volunteer at regionals, 16 at championship. And the place to go to sign up and get everything started is, we've got a little tiny URL. So tinyurl.com/firstvims, FIRSTVIMS. VIMS is the Volunteer Information and Matching System. That's where you get all registered up. There's a quick screening process, but you should hear from your local volunteer coordinator shortly.
And if you don't, just start spamming Jess and she'll get right to it.
Do you know, I get that all the time.
Spammed?
Just spammed for why haven't I heard from my VC yet? I'm like, sorry.
Why haven't I heard from the other volunteer who's trying to do their best, right?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Well, so make sure you check out the archive of this show on our website, firstupdatesnow.com, and on our YouTube. You'll be able to check it out there. If you missed it, I know some of you, it looks like you just came in at the end, or you'd like to, share it to your teams and all that stuff. Please share it. We will be sticking around a little bit after the show, just for a very short post show, just kind of a little debriefing for us. And you're welcome to join us. I think we're going to show that underbelly shot of Team 16, as well as maybe a couple other videos if we can. So just please, if you want to stick around, just kind of stay in the chat for a little bit longer. We'll be hanging out a little bit after the show.
Well, and chat roll, we do this all for you, right? For the First Community, and we really appreciate tuning in. And all of that we ask is, if you enjoyed the show, if you had a great time during Premiere Night, if you want to see more, tell more people about it so we can get even more of the First Community involved. As Mike mentioned, we have Twitch, YouTube, iTunes, RSS feeds, all under First Updates Now, and we'd be delighted to have you join us in the future. So we do thank everybody for tuning in, and you can contact us for feedback at firstupdatesnow@gmail.com. And as Mike said, our website is firstupdatesnow.com. You can catch fun shows live weekly starting after this week. Is going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. A little bit earlier this week, and we thank everybody of those who tuned in. Don't forget to cast your vote for FRC Top 25 weekly by Monday evenings, and we'll have that on the First Updates Now website. So thank everybody once again. Thank you to our producer, Nick, Jess, Mike, and Justin for tuning in, and we will see you next time on Fun Recap.
Thanks, guys.